Stats really quick. We had a couple incidences in town. I think there was about 4 or 5 as far as arrests are related. We had a DUI arrest. We had an occupied stolen that we found here in Salida. We had, and I think the big thing was we had a pursuit that came up the freeway and they exited into Salida here. For about 8 minutes, they went through about every street in Salida. This was during the night. Subject kind of drove off the railroad, or tried to drive onto the railroad over off of Kiernan by the junkyard. Got stuck, took off on foot, ran into the junkyard. We went in after him, secured the place. The sheriff's department brought their dog in and sicked them on the guy, and they chewed him up a little bit, and then we took him to jail. So, good job for the sheriff's department. And then other than that, I think the big thing, we had a fatal on Toombs, south of Bacon a few days ago. Solo vehicle, we're not sure why, he just drifted off the road, hit a parked car. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and that's going to be the big thing that did him in. When the car rolled over, he was thrown around, and unfortunately, that's not a good mix. So just a reminder, slow down, pay attention, and wear your seatbelt. Have a few traffic complaints. I talked to somebody tonight about speed on Murphy. People are speeding up and down, probably due to the fact that they can't get across the railroad tracks down there, and they're trying to get all the way around. So we're going to put some extra focus on that. I have a few other traffic complaints that I'm working on, trying to slow some people down or stop some people at stop signs. So I was out today looking for street racers. I know these guys are out there wreaking havoc on your town. Whenever I have a few extra moments, I try to get out there and see what I can find. I know where some of them live. I'm learning where more of them live, and hopefully we can either catch them or do something to put a stop to it. If I can find them driving, then I can inspect their vehicle. Maybe they have some modifications. I can send them to the smog referee. Cost them a whole bunch of money. It's kind of a deterrent. Doesn't really keep them from doing it, but if they have to take all this racing equipment off to make it back to stock, cost some money there. The ticket costs them a bunch of money, so hopefully we can change some behaviors. I've got to catch them on the road first, though. Any questions?
There's been some too on Finney and Perone.
Yes.
Well, street racing on Perone, it was so bad about 2 weeks ago. I could hear it all the way at my house, and I live probably half a mile away.
Probably every other day we get somebody calls our dispatch and puts it out right there, Finney at or Perone at Sisk or Perone at Finney. Unfortunately, there's a time delay from when it gets to our dispatch and then it gets to us, and then we get there. Sometimes I've been there within 2 minutes of them broadcasting it. I can't find anything, so it's going to be luck of the draw finding them when they're there actually doing it. Maybe we're just around the corner. One of these days we'll get them, though. It's bound to happen.
What's the best number to call when we hear street racing? 911?
You call 911.
Okay.
That's an emergency. Somebody could die from that. So
Okay, thanks.
just call 911.
Okay.
I have a question. My husband and I videotaped and took like 70 pictures of these people. They were over our back fence in the San Joaquin Valley College parking lot. You can get close-up pictures of these guys. There's a picture of one of them doing wheelies, and billows of smoke coming out. And I called and complained. A whole bunch of us called and complained, and it took hours for any policeman to respond. And then I also called the sheriff's department and said I wanted to talk to somebody about it. Never got a call back. Told them we had pictures. I wanted to make a report. Nobody ever called back.
Okay.
So I made a copy of them if you're interested in.
I'd be more than happy to take those and look at them. I can't use it for any type of prosecution or to submit it just off of pictures and a video. I actually have to witness it happening and catch them.
You can't take everybody that witnessed it over their back fences as,
If you want to stop them at the time and then call us, make a citizen's arrest, that we can do that.
You
But if
can't do a citizen's arrest when there's like 60 people there.
you have to think of your own safety, you're right. But I can't use your video. I've tried in the past to use people's videos of actual street racing going on. I've identified people, you see license plates, you see their faces, the DA rejects it, they won't do it. So we can use it to build a case, but I can't use that solely as our means of putting a case together. But like I said, I'll take it. I can get license plates.
Yeah, why did it take so long for a response? It was hours.
I don't know, something like that, again, I wish I could say, you know what, this is exactly what happened, unfortunately, like the CHP too sometimes, because there's other calls for service happening and stuff, and like he says, they'll respond, and we'll come out there within 2 minutes. They have scanners, and they're listening to us, so as soon as they know that we've been dispatched, because we don't silent dispatch that, they're gone. So when we get there, they're all over the place.
Dispatch it so that they don't hear you.
That's what I'm saying, that sometimes we can't do that, because then how do we let everyone else know this is what we're going to? And then when we get there, everyone's running all different places, and if we get into pursuits and stuff, then we get the, well, which, is it gonna outweigh the good and the bad that we're chasing these people for a traffic offense, when now we're putting other lives in danger, because now they're on the street, we're chasing them down, and that's where it's like, it's trying to find a happy medium to be able to do this, and I know it's frustrating for you, and it's frustrating for us too, because sometimes, like he says, you'll have the video, you're willing to send it over to the DA's office, and the DA's like, you get a good attorney, and they're gonna be like, it's just a waste of time and more waste of taxpayers' money, and
Even though this is taking place not on the street, it's on private property.
and that's another thing that they look at, they say, well, we need a victim to say like, hey, we don't want them on that private property. And of course, on the weekends, there's no one there to say that. And so therefore, like with vacant houses, when people break into them, that no one's living there, they're bank owned, and then they're like, people are calling in, hey, they're inside that house right now, no one's supposed to be there, it's empty, we can't do anything about it unless there's a victim calling us saying, hey, we're willing to prosecute, because without a victim, we don't have a crime.
So you have to wait until they actually injure somebody before you make them do it.
We have to have a victim, unfortunately.
Then maybe I'll go over there next time, let them run me over.
I wouldn't recommend that. Please don't do that. So, because then, watch
That's
it be.
just really insane.
No, and it's frustrating, believe me. It's frustrating for us too, because we're like, well, they have video, they have this, or, you know, even times where we get them, like,
Yeah.
and it's still, it's not good.
You got all these witnesses and the DA won't agree to that. So that's,
Yes.
okay,
That's one of the steps
that's the next step.
and everything, yeah.
What time of the day was it?
This is broad daylight, you know, it was like.
On the weekend?
From 2 to 4 in the afternoon, it went on for like 2 hours, and it also occurred the Friday night before that. I mean, people could get killed, they could come crashing into our backyard.
And we can definitely, if we can get there, like the lieutenant said, there's so many other calls for service. Depending on what time of the day it is, there may only be 4 or 5 cars. In the evenings, there could only be 2 cars out there. So we're stretched really thin right now. We have to prioritize calls, and if we're investigating a collision, we can't just break away and
Yeah.
go, unfortunately.
How many